everybody, buenos dias. Welcome to day 236 of the year. How are you feeling this morning? Hopefully you're having a nice quiet yin start to your day as you start the cycle of a new morning and a new week. It is Monday morning, the 236th day of the year. Hopefully did you check in with yourself this morning? Notice how you're feeling in your physical body. Notice how you're feeling mentally, emotionally, all those things. Notice the environment around you and how that's affecting how you're feeling as well. It's nice and quiet here. It's a beautiful, beautiful start to the day here in the Pigeon Valley in Cappadocia in Turkey. There is something so magical about starting the day here with the quiet of the desert, because it gets so hot during the day, but the mornings and the evenings really cool down. So it's just so beautiful to enjoy that quiet yin time in the mornings and in the evenings. So we're on day 236 of the year, and according to 365 Tao by Deng Ming Tao, our word for today is imprisonment. So grab your book, grab your journal and something to write with, and find that nice, quiet and comfy place where you're not going to be disturbed for the next 15 minutes or so while we read together. Always remember that 15 minutes is just 1% of your day. So take this little 1% of your day, 1% of your morning to start your day with intention. Be here and now. Take a nice deep breath in with a long exhale out. Remember that when you exhale for a longer count than your inhale, you're sending a message to your body and to your nervous system that it's time to relax, it's time to slow down, and it's time to be present. So let's open up our books to page 236 and start reading together. Our subjectivity is a mirrored, spiked casket. We surround ourselves with the reflections of our own identities. We think only of ourselves, not of Tao. All we care about is survival and gratification. When will we see that all we have done is to surround ourselves with our own illusions? We do not see the world as it truly is. We ignore the dilemma of our existence. We are like preening idiots inside a mirrored casket. I don't know about you, but I haven't really ever thought about myself as a preening idiot, but this book always has some interesting wisdom for us. I'm going to reread that. We are like preening idiots inside a mirrored casket. As we build upon our illusions, the box gets smaller. One of the things I love about the way that Deng Ming Tao writes is that he's he's a visual artist. He's a painter as well as a writer. But when you read what he writes, you can get a visualization of what he's speaking about. And this one's really beautiful. Think about a mirrored casket, as he was speaking about. And as it says here, the box gets smaller. So imagine yourself in some sort of a casket, and then with these feelings that he says here, as we build upon our illusions, so as we're in our intellectual mind with all these illusional things, the box gets smaller. Soon it develops spikes, the spears of our own egotism, only we are so self-absorbed that we do not notice the points. We are too in love with ourselves. We prance around, we fluff our hair, and still the casket gets smaller and smaller. Some succeed in getting out of this trap, but they are so attached that they drag their casket behind them for a long time. Those who drag their illusions with them are only a step better than those who are trapped in them. Only when we realize our true nature does the casket disappear. Wow, so this is a really beautiful way to think about the intellectual mind and the egotism that comes, with, overthinking. As human beings, our intellect and our brain obviously does a lot of the driving, but we are somatic beings. We are supposed to be in our body more than we are in our mind. And sometimes the intellectual mind can go into overdrive. We can overthink. We can be in our ego mind. We can be thinking about external validation and external things rather than being in our physical bodies and feeling who we truly are instead of intellectualizing who we think we are. And if you go back through the last couple of pages that we've been reading, there is an occurring theme here, if you go through all of these pages, about the ego, about labels, about external validation, and all of these things are external to us. We really need to break away from those and come back to who we truly are, especially in our physical bodies. And one of the best ways to do that, obviously, is to come back to your breath and really feel into things rather than over-intellectualizing them in your brain. Your body usually, well, almost always is going to tell you through your intuition and your instincts. You usually feel it in your body before your brain has the chance to jump in there and tell you intellectually what it thinks. So that can be your homework for today. Think about yourself as being in this spiked casket that Deng Ming Dao has so beautifully illustrated for us, and then think about every time your ego or your intellectual mind gets involved, think about that casket getting smaller because it's something external to you. And so when you focus on the external, which is what the intellectual mind is constantly trying to make you do, that casket's going to get smaller and you're going to be in this little defined box of the ego and the intellect. And if you can get out of that and just be and feel, come back to your breath, be part of the natural world. If your ego mind is going off and telling you things and this, that, and the other, shh, come back to your breath and focus on the here and the now. I know it sounds a lot simpler. It sounds simple, but it can be very difficult to do, especially if your ego mind is running wild, and that happens to us a lot of the time. But the easiest way to break out of that cycle, break out of that casket, is to come back to the here and the now and come back to your breath. So I wish you a beautiful, beautiful day on day 236 of the year. It is a gorgeous day in the Cappadocia region of Turkey. Wherever you are in the world, I wish you a gorgeous day. Thank you so much for being here, and I will check in with you tomorrow.